The desert was silent, wide, and endless. The sky above looked like washed-out gold, and the ground below seemed to burn under the strong afternoon sun. In this lonely place, a single man walked forward, step after slow step. His name was Evan. He carried only a small backpack, a half-empty bottle of water, and a mind full of questions about why life felt so empty these days. For hours he had seen nothing but dust, sand, and old rocks. But suddenly, something changed. A strange shape appeared in the distance. At first, Evan thought it was just heat waves, the kind that dance on hot sand. But this shape did not move like a wave. It moved like something alive. Something struggling. Something crawling. Evan stopped walking. His heartbeat grew louder. "What is that?" he whispered to himself. The shape slowly came closer. The desert wind blew, carrying with it a soft broken sound, like someone trying to breathe, but failing. Evan stepped forward carefully. Each step felt heavier. He was completely alone. No cities, no people, no roads. If danger came, there was no help. The creature came into view. It collapsed on the sand only a few meters away from him. Evan froze in place. His mind tried to understand what he was seeing, because whatever this thing was, it was not human. Its skin looked dry and cracked, like old stone. Its body was thin but long, shaped like a human, but somehow not a human. Its eyes glowed faint blue, as if a small light was trapped inside. It tried to lift its head, but it had no strength. Evan looked around. No footprints, no tracks, no crashed ship, no animal signs. Just the creature and silence. His first instinct was to run. His second instinct was to help. The creature struggled again, letting out a weak sound. Its hand trembled, reaching out a little, then falling back to the sand. Evan stepped closer, his heart beating so fast he felt it in his throat. He dropped to one knee beside the creature, keeping a small distance. Hey, can you hear me?" Evan asked, though he knew it probably wouldn't understand. The creature tried to speak. Its voice cracked like a stone being broken. Evan looked at the cracked lips, the dry skin, and the shaking hands. The creature was dying of thirst. His hand slowly reached behind to his backpack. His fingers touched the bottle of water. He hesitated. This was all the water he had. If he gave it away, he could suffer later. But he looked at the creature again, its glowing eyes fading, body trembling, breath almost gone. Evan opened the bottle. "Okay," he whispered, "just a little. But you need this more than I do." He lifted the creature's head gently with one hand. The skin felt cool, almost like touching metal. Evan slowly brought the water bottle to its lips. The creature's eyes widened weakly, and it drank. Slowly, carefully, as if every drop was precious. Something strange happened. The creature's eyes suddenly glowed brighter. A soft blue light pulsed under its skin for a second. Evan pulled back, shocked. What are you?" he whispered. "The fuzz." Creature's breathing steadied just a little. It turned its head slightly toward him. Its voice, still weak, came out in a single broken word. "Chosen." Evan blinked. What does that mean?" But the creature did not answer. Its eyes slowly closed, as if resting, gathering strength. Evan looked around the desert again. He felt something he had not felt in years, fear mixed with curiosity. He waited. The sun slowly dropped lower. The wind grew colder. Then suddenly, the creature's eyes opened again, glowing brighter than before. It looked directly into Evan's eyes. The blue light reflected on his face, sending a cold shiver down his spine. The creature pushed itself up with surprising strength. Its body seemed lighter, faster, more alive. It stood shakily on its feet. Evan stepped back, not knowing what was happening. The creature raised its hand, placed it on Evan's chest for a moment, gentle but firm. Then, like a shadow caught by wind, it turned and ran, but it didn't run like a human. It moved with sharp, fast jumps like a desert ghost, leaving only dust behind. Within seconds, it disappeared completely into the rising sandstorm. Evan stood alone again, shocked, confused, sweating from fear and heat. What just happened? He whispered. The desert did not answer. He looked at his water bottle now. Almost empty. He looked at the footprints the creature left behind, long, strange, deep prints unlike anything he had ever seen. Then he remembered the word, chosen. Chosen for what? Chosen by whom? Chosen to do what? A cold wind blew suddenly, as if the desert itself was warning him. Evan picked up his pack and turned toward his shelter. He felt eyes watching him from somewhere far in the dunes. As he walked back, one thought repeated in his mind like a heartbeat. Tomorrow will not be normal. Something is coming. And Evan had no idea that the creature he saved was a prince. And by saving him, Evan had just changed the fate of two worlds. The night felt longer than usual. Evan barely slept. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the creature's glowing stare. That one strange word echoing in his mind, chosen. He sat awake inside his small desert shelter, a broken wooden hut he used whenever he traveled this region. The wind outside whistled softly, and the sand tapped the walls like tiny fingers. Evan kept thinking about the creature's cracked skin, its desperate thirst, its sudden strength. Could it return? Should he be afraid? Should he leave this place? He had no answers. And when he finally did fall asleep for a short moment, morning arrived too quickly. The first sound he heard was not wind. It was heavy steps, deep, slow, rhythmic. Thump, thump, thump. Evan's eyes opened wide. His heart began to pound. He stayed still, listening. Not one creature. Not two, many. He stepped toward the window and gently pushed the wooden flap aside. His breath caught. Outside, stretching across the desert like a living army, stood a full alien tribe riding giant armored tigers. The sight looked impossible. The tigers were massive, twice the size of horses, with long saber teeth, glowing blue stripes, and metal-like armor plates growing naturally from their skin. Their tails swayed slowly, sharp at the ends like blades. Their eyes burned with calm intelligence. On top of each tiger sat an alien warrior, tall, strong, and wearing armor made from crystal blue bones and shining metal rings. Their faces were similar to the creature Evan had seen yesterday, but healthier, stronger, and filled with authority. Evan's mouth went dry. What is this? He stepped back in fear. But the sound came again. Thump, thump. One of the tigers walked forward, stopping right in front of Evan's door. On its back sat the alien Evan had saved yesterday. But now, he looked completely different. His skin glowed with new energy. His armor shined like polished moonstone. His posture was royal, upright, powerful, commanding. A long blue cape flowed behind him like mist. His eyes glowed brighter than before, steady and sharp. Evan could not even speak. The alien prince raised one hand and tapped the tiger's neck twice. The giant creature lowered its head respectfully, like a trained war beast obeying a king. The prince looked directly at Evan through the open doorway. There was no anger, no hatred, only a strange respect. The tribe behind him suddenly slammed their long staffs onto the sand in perfect sync. Thoom. Thoom. Tot-o-o-m. The sound echoed across the desert like thunder. Evan felt his knees go weak. The prince finally spoke. His voice was stronger now, deep and confident. "Human Evan," he said, speaking perfectly clear English. "You saved my life." Evan blinked. You can talk English?" The prince nodded once. "We learn every language of every world we travel, but humans do not learn ours." Evan swallowed. "I don't understand what's happening." The prince lifted his chin proudly. "Yesterday, you gave water to a dying stranger. Today, that stranger returns with his entire people. The tribe behind him roared softly, a powerful sound, like a promise of loyalty. Evan felt a cold wave go through his body. I didn't do anything special. Evan whispered. The prince's eyes narrowed, almost amused. In your world, kindness is rare. To us, rare things are sacred. He raised his hand slowly. The tribe opened their formation. Something unexpected happened next. A group of alien women stepped forward, carrying silver bowls of blue fire. They stood in 2 lines, creating a path. Their clothes flowed like liquid glass. Their hair shimmered like starlight. At the end of the path, a single figure stood waiting, covered with a glowing white veil. Evan's stomach dropped. No, this wasn't real. This felt like a dream, no, like a mistake. The prince spoke again. By the law of our people, the one who saves the royal bloodline. He paused, pressing one fist to his chest. Must be honored with a bride. Evan almost choked. What? I don't need a bride. I didn't save you for this, the tribe murmured. The tigers growled softly. Misunderstanding rose like fire. The prince raised his hand to calm them. Do not fear. She will not harm you. The veiled figure took a step forward, then another, and another. With each step, blue and silver dust floated around her ankles. Glowing like magic, she stopped only a few feet from Evan's door, and slowly lifted her veil. Evan's breath froze. She was alien, but beautiful in a strange, unforgettable way. Her eyes glowed like twin stars. Her skin shimmered like moonlight. She was calm, gentle, and very, very serious. She bowed her head slightly. Human Evan, she said softly, I am offered to you in honor. Not as a gift, not as a burden, but as a protector. Evan shook his head, overwhelmed. I don't even know who you are. She lifted her eyes. My name is Layara, and I will protect you. Even from your own world. A cold wind swept across the sand. Behind her, the tribe watched silently. Above him, the sky shifted, dark clouds forming. Something big was coming. Something dangerous. And Evan had no idea that accepting or rejecting this alien bride would decide the fate of millions. Evan stood frozen in the doorway of his shelter. His breath felt trapped in his chest as the alien woman, Layara, stood just a few steps away. Her veil lifted, her glowing eyes watching him with calm intensity. Behind her, the alien tribe remained completely silent. Hundreds of warriors, all mounted on giant tigers, stared at Evan as if waiting for a sacred decision. The morning sun reflected off their armor, creating bright flashes of blue and silver light across the sand. Evan's heart beat fast. This was too much. One day ago, he was just a traveler in a lonely desert. Now, a whole alien tribe was offering him a bride. He raised his hand slowly, trying not to look afraid. Look, Layara, right? I think there's been a mistake, Evan said, his voice shaking. I didn't save your prince for a reward. I was just helping a dying person. Layara lowered her eyes, almost respectfully. You show humility. That is rare, she said softly. Her voice was musical, calm, warm, but carrying a hidden strength. Evan swallowed hard. Humility or not, I'm not sure I can accept a bride from another world. A sudden stir ran through the tribe. Some warriors whispered. Some tigers growled softly. The air grew thick with misunderstanding. The alien prince, whom Evan had saved, raised his hand to silence them. His glowing eyes fixed on Evan. Human, he said calmly. You misunderstand the meaning. Evan frowned. Meaning? What meaning? The prince tapped his chest with his fist, an alien sign of honor. This is not marriage. As you humans see it. Layara stepped forward. Her presence was gentle but powerful, like she carried the weight of a whole people. In our law, she explained, a bride is not a wife. A bride is a protector, A guardian, a life-bond companion. Evan blinked. So, she's not being forced to marry me? Liara smiled slightly, just enough to show warmth. No, I chose this role. Evan's eyes widened. You chose it, she nodded. Double quotes. The one who saves the royal blood becomes part of our life path. You showed courage, Evan. You gave help without expecting anything in return. Her voice grew softer. Our people see that as the highest honor. The prince leaned forward on his tiger. And so, human, you earned something our world rarely gives. Evan felt his throat tighten. He had never been honored for anything in his life. Not like this. Not by anyone, but before he could speak, the ground trembled slightly. A deep rumble rolled across the desert floor. Evan's eyes snapped toward the horizon. Line of black dust clouds was rising far away. Lyra's face changed her calm expression. Turning into sudden concern, the prince turned sharply. They are earlier than expected, he muttered. The tribe shifted, tigers pawing at the sand nervously. Earlier? Who? Evan asked, fear creeping into his voice. Lyra stepped closer to him. Her eyes locked onto his. Your people. Evan felt the ground drop under him. Humans? Coming here? Lyra nodded. Double quotes, yes. And they do not come with peace. They tracked our signal. They think we are invaders. Evan shook his head. No. No, that's not right. Humans wouldn't attack without talking first. Lyra gave him a sad, gentle look. They already attacked us once. Evan froze. She continued, voice trembling slightly. That is why the prince was injured. Our ship crashed after your military fired on us. We came to Earth only to hide from a war in the stars. But humans believed we came to conquer. The prince added sharply, your armies do not understand mercy. They understand threat. Evan felt a wave of shame. His own world, his own people, were hunting these aliens out of fear. The rumbling sound grew louder. Dust clouds rose higher. Machines crawled over the dunes, dark metal, human-built, massive desert walkers. Drones with red lights. Armored vehicles with missile racks. Evan's heartbeat skyrocketed. This is bad, he whispered. If they see you, they'll attack. Lyra placed her hand gently over his dot. Her touch was surprisingly warm. Then, stand with us, she said softly. Let us protect you, as you protected our prince. Evan looked into her glowing eyes. He saw fear, hope, trust. The prince lowered his head in a gesture of solemn respect. You saved me. Now we save you. And together, we stop this war before it begins. Evan took a deep breath. His decision came like lightning. I'll go with you, he said. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can't let humans kill innocent people. Lyra's eyes softened. Then the bond is accepted. The tribe reacted instantly. Warriors raised their staffs. Tigers roared in unison. Blue flames shot upward, forming a swirling symbol in the sky. Evan saw the symbol reflected in Lyra's eyes. It looked ancient, powerful, unbreakable. The prince spoke one final line, voice echoing across the desert. From this moment, the human Evan belongs to the life bond path. Evan didn't know what that meant. He didn't know what future he had just stepped into. But he knew one thing, his life would never be normal again. The desert wind grew stronger, swirling around Evan as he stood between the alien tribe and the rising cloud of dust on the horizon. The sound grew louder every second. Deep engines, rotating blades, metallic thunder. It was the sound of machines built for war. The alien warriors shifted nervously. Their tigers paced in wide circles, claws digging into the sand. The once calm morning now felt tight and dangerous, like the entire desert was holding its breath. Lyra stepped slightly in front of Evan, her eyes scanning the horizon. They come with full force, she said softly. Your people do not send this many machines unless they expect a battle. Evan's stomach twisted. This is wrong. Humans don't even know you. Why would they attack first? The alien prince, sitting tall on his armored tiger, replied with a cold truth. Fear does not wait for understanding. A deep boom echoed across the land. The first human war machine came into view, a tall desert walker, its metal legs stomping the sand like a giant steel beast. Behind it rolled armored vehicles with missile racks. Above them, drones buzzed in. A tight formation, glowing with red targeting lights. Evan stepped back, unable to look away. This was not a search party. This was an army. As the human machines approached, Evan could see their symbols: Earth Military Alliance, Desert Region Division. He knew those units. They were aggressive. They never asked questions. Lyra's voice softened. I am sorry, Evan, but this is how your world greets strangers. The prince raised his staff high, and the entire tribe shifted into formation. Tigers lined up shoulder to shoulder, fangs bare, armor plates glowing faint blue. Warriors lifted long crystal weapons, each humming with energy. The tribe looked like living statues of battle, ancient and powerful. Evan felt panic rising. Wait, don't attack. They'll think you're hostile. The prince turned his glowing eyes toward him. We defend, not attack first. Still, Evan knew how human soldiers thought. One wrong move, one nervous trigger finger, and blood would cover the sand. The machines finally stopped at a distance. A voice boomed through loudspeakers. Unidentified alien life forms. You are trespassing on protected Earth territory. Evan closed his eyes. This was going badly. The voice continued. You will disembark from your creatures and surrender immediately. Lyra whispered. Creatures. They don't even call our tigers animals. They think everything unusual is a threat. A second human officer spoke loudly. Failure to comply will result in hostile action. Evan stepped forward before anyone could stop him. Wait. Stop. I'm a human, he yelled, waving both arms. I'm not kidnapped. These aliens are peaceful. But the officer's voice cut him off instantly. Civilian Evan Keller, step away from the hostiles. They are using you as a shield. Evan froze. They knew his name. They had been tracking him. Lyra moved closer, gently pulling him back. Stay near me. They will not listen. The prince lifted his staff, signaling the tribe not to attack. Evan's voice cracked. Please. Please don't fight. Humans will believe anything if they see aggression. The prince lowered his staff slightly. He trusted Evan, even now, but the humans did not. One of the drones flew lower. Its red light focused directly on the prince's chest. A targeting lock. Lyra gasped. The tribe murmured in alarm. Evan shouted. Nitrogen monoxide. Stop. He's not a threat. A missile hatch on one of the armored vehicles opened with a sharp hiss. Lyra grabbed Evan's hand. Her voice trembled for the first time. They mean to kill us all. The prince raised his voice, loud enough for all to hear. So be it. If they wish to strike first, we will not fall quietly. The tribe's tigers growled, their claws dug deeper. Their eyes glowed with fighting spirit. Evan shook his head wildly. No, this will become a massacre. Humans don't understand your culture. They think you're invaders. Lyra looked deep into his eyes. You stand between two worlds. Only you can stop this now. Evan felt something shift inside him, a mixture of fear and courage. He never wanted to be a hero. Yet here he was, standing in front of an alien tribe, with an army behind him and a war in front of him. He stepped forward again, heart pounding, breath shaking. But before he could say a single word, a massive explosion tore through the air. Sand flew everywhere. The sky shook. A shockwave blasted across the battlefield. Evan fell to the ground. Lyra knelt beside him, shielding him with her body. When the dust cleared, Evan looked up, and his eyes widened in horror. The explosion didn't come from the humans. It came from deep beneath the desert. A giant metal structure half buried. Glowing red began rising from the sand like a hidden monster waking up after centuries. Lyra's face turned pale. No, it cannot be. The prince whispered one word, hunters. Evan didn't understand until he saw the symbol on the rising war machine. Not human. Not alien, something far worse. Something that hunted entire species. And both humans and the alien tribe were now in danger. The desert still shook from the eruption of the buried war machine. Dust clouds spun like small storms, and the sound of grinding metal echoed across the dunes. Humans and aliens both stared at the massive structure rising from beneath the sand. Evan's mind raced. He had never seen technology like this towering. Pillars, red glowing scars, and symbols carved in sharp lines. It looked older than any human civilization, and more advanced than the alien tribe. Lyra stood close to Evan, one hand still holding his arm protectively. Hunters, she whispered. Again, voice full of fear. They were not supposed to follow us here. Evan asked softly, who are they? The prince answered with a heavy voice, a race that destroys worlds. They do not speak, they do not reason. They hunt anything that breathes. Evan felt cold. Inside. Then Lyra added something even worse. They are the reason we came to Earth. The ground vibrated again. The giant hunter structure charged with red electricity. In that moment, both humans and aliens realized the same thing. They had a bigger enemy. The human commander shouted orders, weapons turning toward the hunter machine instead of the alien tribe. But it was too late. Small drone-like creatures emerged from the rising structure fast, sharp and deadly. The prince turned to Evan quickly. We must leave now. If they capture you, they will learn about your world. Evan hesitated. His world? He barely felt a part of it anymore. Lyra stepped forward, her eyes glowing gently. Evan, come with us. You are safer with our people. He looked back at the approaching human soldiers, confused, afraid, unprepared. They still believed the aliens were the enemy. He looked at the alien tribe, organized, loyal, protective. Then he remembered his small, empty apartment. His lonely days, his aimless travel, his broken relationships. His life had never felt meaningful. Until now. Slowly, Evan nodded. Lyra's eyes softened with relief. The prince raised his staff. Form the path. Retreat to the cliffs. The tribe moved instantly. Tigers turned and sprinted into a V-shaped formation, warriors guarding the rear. Lyra guided Evan toward a massive tiger with shimmering golden stripes. The tiger lowered itself, allowing Evan to climb. Its fur felt warm and soft, its muscles powerful beneath him. Lyra jumped up behind him, her arms circling him lightly for balance. Hold tight, she whispered. The tiger roared and charged forward through the shifting sand. Behind them, explosions lit up the desert hunter drones, attacking human machines, human missiles firing back wildly. The desert became a battlefield of three species, but Evan didn't look back. He felt the wind rush past his face as the tiger sprinted. He felt Lyra's steady presence behind him. He felt something new inside him, purpose. After nearly 20 minutes of fast travel, the desert floor changed. Strange stone formations appeared, tall, twisted pillars shaped like ancient trees made of rock. The prince called out, "Open the gate." Evan looked ahead in shock. A giant cliff wall stood in front of them, completely solid, until symbols carved into it began glowing blue. The rock cracked open slowly, revealing a hidden passage more massive than anything Evan had seen. Lyra leaned forward. "Welcome to our refuge." They entered the passage. Blue light filled the tunnel walls, guiding them deeper underground. The air grew cooler, calmer. Finally, they reached the end. Evan gasped. Beneath the desert, inside a giant cavern, was an entire city. Buildings carved into stone. Bridges of glowing crystal. Water flowing through silver channels. Giant roots of luminous plants hanging from the ceiling like floating lanterns. Alien children ran through the streets. Elder aliens prayed near pools of blue fire. Everything shimmered with life and peace. Evan whispered, "This is beautiful." Liara smiled. "This is all we have left." The prince dismounted his tiger and approached Evan. "Human Evan," he said, "you saved me. Today you helped my people escape death again. You are part of our life path now." Evan stepped down slowly. His legs shook, maybe from the ride, maybe from the emotional weight of everything. Liara stood beside him. "I am your guardian now. I will stay with you, teach you, protect you." Evan felt a strange warmth inside. No one had ever spoken to him like this. No one had ever chosen him for anything, but the prince wasn't finished. He turned serious. "You must know the truth." Evan's throat tightened. "What truth?" The prince looked deeper into the cavern, where a large crystal map glowed. "The hunters did not arrive by accident," he said. Liara added quietly, "They followed you." Evan froze. "Me?" Liara nodded. "Your act of kindness awakened an old signal in the prince's armor. A signal the hunters have been searching for." The prince concluded, "By saving me, you triggered a path that connects our fates. And now, both our worlds are tied together." Evan felt dizzy. He had not just saved a life. He had changed the future of an entire species. And now, the hunters, destroyers of worlds, were coming because of him. Liara placed a gentle hand on his arm. "Do not fear, Evan. This is only the beginning." The cavern lights dimmed. The hunter's distant roar echoed through the tunnels. War was coming. And Evan was now standing at the center of it. The hidden alien city glowed softly beneath the desert, but the peace inside it felt fragile, like a thin glass wall separating safety from disaster. Evan walked through the glowing streets with Liara by his side, yet his heart felt heavy. Above them, far beyond the cavern ceiling, he knew humans and hunters now moved toward the same battlefield, two worlds preparing for war. And he was standing in the middle. Liara watched him quietly, sensing his worry. "Your heart is loud," she said softly. "You fear for your people." Evan nodded. "Yes, but I fear for yours too." They stopped near a large pool of blue fire, an alien energy source that hummed with a soft, calming sound. Evan sat at the edge of the stone platform. "I don't know how to stop this," he whispered. Liara knelt beside him. The glowing fire reflected in her eyes. "You stopped death twice already," she said. "Once when you saved the prince, and once when you warned us in the desert." Evan shook his head. That wasn't enough. The ground shook suddenly, just slightly, like a warning. The prince approached quickly, his expression dark. "The humans have followed the hunter drones," he announced. "They are headed straight toward the cliffs." Evan stood up fast. "So they found this place?" The prince exhaled deeply. "Not yet, but soon." Liara placed her hand on Evan's arm. "If humans enter our city, they will fire before they speak." Evan knew she was right. Humans feared what they didn't understand. The prince looked at Evan with serious eyes. "You must speak with your people. They know your name. They will listen to you more than us." Evan hesitated. His chest tightened. "What if they don't?" he asked. The prince's voice grew calm but firm. "Then both our worlds fall." The march toward war. Minutes later, the alien tribe prepared to leave the hidden city. Tigers lined up. Warriors gathered weapons glowing with blue energy. The cavern entrance opened again, revealing the desert sky. Evan stood beside Liara. As they rode together on the tiger's back, heading toward the cliffs, the wind carried the sound of distant engines. Again, human engines, hunter machines. Two storms approaching the same sky. "Do we even stand a chance?" Evan asked quietly. Liara leaned forward. "Hope is a weapon too." But Evan saw fear in her eyes for the first time. The prince rode at the front of the formation. As soon as they reached the cliff edge, he raised his staff. The tribe stopped. Evan's breath caught as he saw them. Hundreds of human soldiers spread across the desert floor. Dozens of armored vehicles, missile launchers aimed. Drones hovering with red lasers, and behind them, rising like a nightmare. Hunter machines awakened fully, glowing red, crawling across the sand like giant insects. Humans pointed their weapons at the hunters. Hunters targeted the humans, but suddenly, the human commander noticed the alien tribe emerging from the cliffs. Within seconds, human guns rotated and pointed upward. At Lyra's tribe, Evan felt his heart drop. No, not both. At once, the prince whispered, "Your people still believe we are the enemy." Lyra held Evan's hand tightly. "Go. Only you can speak for us." Evan swallowed hard. His legs trembled, but he stepped forward anyway. The alien tribe made a protective circle around him, letting him walk ahead alone onto the cliff ledge. Raised both arms toward the human army. Wind whipped his clothes. Sand stung his face. The sky felt heavy and electric. "Stop!" he shouted with all his strength. "Don't fire." The human commander used a megaphone. "Evan Keller, step away from the hostiles. You are not safe." Evan stepped farther forward. "They're not hostiles. They're refugees. They're running from the hunters." The commander hesitated. Soldiers murmured. The prince lowered his staff slightly, allowing Evan to speak for both sides. Evan pointed at the red machines in the distance. "They are the real enemy. The hunters. They destroyed the aliens' world. They will destroy ours too." But the commander shouted back, "We cannot trust alien information." Evan felt fury rise in him. "Then trust me. I'm human. I've been with them. They saved me more times than you ever will." The human commander stiffened. Evan took a dangerous step closer to the cliff edge. "Listen to me. If you fire on them, you start a war humans can't win." Silence spread. Even the wind paused, but before the commander responded, a sudden alarm screamed from behind the human lines. A soldier yelled, "Hunter machine locking missiles, target unknown." Evan froze. Lyra gasped. The prince shouted a warning. A giant hunter machine turned fully, its red targeting lasers aimed, not at the aliens, not at the humans, but at Evan. Lyra screamed, "No!" The humans panicked. The aliens roared. The prince raised his staff. Evan had only 1 second to react, but something impossible happened. Lyra jumped off her tiger faster than any human could move, and stood directly between Evan and the red targeting beam. Her eyes glowed fiercely. Her voice cut through the chaos like fire. "He is under my life bond." A blue energy shield exploded outward from her body, ancient, powerful, unstoppable. The hunter missile fired. The shield caught it, held it, crushed it in midair. The desert lit up with blue and red flames. Humans stared in shock. The alien tribe roared in pride. Evan looked at Lyra, breathing hard. Holding the shield with trembling hands, she whispered, "I will protect you, even from death." Evan realized something painful and beautiful. She wasn't just his guardian. She was willing to die for him. And now the humans finally understood. The desert exploded with light. Blue energy from Lyra's shield clashed against the red glow of the hunter missile, creating a storm of sparks and heat. Evan shielded his eyes as the shockwave rolled across the cliff, throwing dust and wind in every direction. But Lyra still stood, arms raised, knees shaking, eyes burning with fierce blue fire. Evan stared at her in disbelief. She had stopped a missile with her bare hands. Humans lowered their weapons in shock. Alien warriors bowed their heads with pride. Even the tigers growled with deep respect. When the energy finally faded, Lyra collapsed to one knee, exhausted. Evan rushed to her, holding her shoulders gently. "Lyra, are you okay?" She took a soft breath. Her voice trembled but stayed calm. "I am alive because you are alive." Her words hit Evan harder than the explosion. The human commander watched this moment silently. For the first time, his soldiers hesitated, unsure whether to aim or stand down. But there was no time to breathe. The ground shook violently, harder than before. 3 massive hunter machines rose from the sand, towering red giants, with blade-like legs and spinning cores glowing like molten lava. Smaller hunter drones swarmed around them, screeching in metallic tones. The prince's eyes widened. They awakened the entire swarm. The human commander shouted, "Everyone prepare for impact." Evan stood helplessly between 2 armies that finally realized the truth. They were not enemies. They were prey. The final battle begins. Hunter drones launched forward, slicing through the air. Human guns fired wildly. Alien warriors leapt from their tigers, striking with crystal weapons glowing blue dot. It was chaos. Explosions painted the sky red and blue. Drones crashed into the sand like burning metal birds. Tigers roared and tackled hunter machines with shocking strength. The prince fought at the front line, moving like lightning. His staff sent blue waves of power across the battlefield. Liara rose unsteadily, ready to fight again. But Evan grabbed her wrist. "No, you're hurt." She met his eyes. "I am your life bond. I fight for you until my last breath." Evan's heart twisted. "No, not anymore. I'm fighting too." Liara blinked, surprised, and something soft touched her expression. Maybe pride, maybe love, maybe both. They turned together. A massive hunter machine was charging toward the cliff, aiming at the alien city entrance. If it reached the city, thousands would die. Evan felt fear rise in his throat. But then something else rose with it. Courage. He jumped onto one of the alien tigers. Liara climbed behind him, gripping his waist. "Ride, Evan," she whispered. "I trust you." The tiger leapt forward, sprinting straight toward the giant hunter. Wind roared past them. Heat from explosions burned their faces. Evan held on tightly as Liara guided the tiger's direction with silent signals. The giant hunter lowered its massive cannon, aiming at the city gate. Evan shouted, "Liara now." Liara placed her hand on the tiger's back. A blue spark ignited. The tiger jumped impossibly high, higher than any creature should leap, and soared toward the hunter's head. Liara raised her hands and unleashed a huge blast of blue energy. The hunter staggered. Its cannon misfired. Red lightning crackled wildly. The human commander saw his chance. All units fire on the hunter's core. Missiles, bullets, and alien crystal beams struck the weakened core. The hunter machine shook violently, its red glow dimming. And then boom, the giant collapsed, shaking the desert floor. Humans cheered. Aliens roared. For one moment, the entire battlefield shared the same victory. But it wasn't over. 2 more hunter machines advanced, their red lights pulsing faster, as if adapting, as if learning. Liara's expression changed. Not fear, pain. Evan noticed immediately. "What's wrong?" Liara closed her eyes. "I hid one truth. The truth you deserve to know now." The battlefield noise faded from Evan's mind. Her voice felt heavier, deeper, older. "I am not just a guardian. I am the last living heir of my world's throne." Evan froze. You're a queen?" Liara nodded softly. The bride offered. "To the savior is never just a protector. She is the heart of the people, the one who carries the bond of peace." Evan's breath caught. "So your tribe? They didn't give me a bride. They gave me their future." Liara touched his face gently. "I chose you, Evan, not because of law, but because your heart is pure." Before Evan could respond, the remaining hunters charged their weapons for one final, devastating blast aimed at both humans and aliens together. There was only one chance left. Liara stood up, determined. "There is a power inside me. A power that can stop them. But it comes with a price." Evan grabbed her hand tightly. "What price?" She looked at him with eyes full of sadness. If I use it, I will fade. Evan felt like the world stopped moving. No, nitrogen monoxide, I won't let you. Liara placed a finger on his lips. Evan, your kindness saved a prince. Your courage saved 2 peoples. Let my sacrifice save the world's. Before he could stop her, she stepped forward into the center of the battlefield. Her body began to glow. Blue light rose around her, like a storm of stars. Energy lifted her into the air. Aliens fell to their knees. Humans stared in awe. Evan reached out helplessly. Liara. She looked at him one last time. Her final words echoed through his heart. Life bond is eternal. A blinding wave of blue light exploded outward, destroying every hunter machine, tearing their cores apart, and cleansing the desert in one massive burst of energy. When the light faded, Liara was gone. Only soft blue dust floated where she once stood, sparkling like tears in sunlight. Evan fell to his knees. Silent. The prince placed a hand on his shoulder. She saved us all. The human commander bowed his head. For the first time, humans and aliens shared grief. Evan whispered into the quiet wind. One glass of water changed my world forever. And in the air, the blue dust shimmered, as if answering, life bond is eternal.